welcome to Roswell's Park for the second game of a midweek series between your Moose Jaw Miller Express and the Fort McMurray Giants, sponsored by BTN. A reminder to pick up your programs at the minimum for the break and wheel ticket window to play RBC Royal Bank Bingo and win other great prizes courtesy of our sponsors. Time now for our Stringham Law starting lineups. First, our umpire crew tonight. We have Derek Sada, Mike Richards, and Connor Jocelyn. Now the lineup for the visiting Fort McMurray Giants. Leading off is third baseman number 17, Carson Young. Batting second is center fielder number 5, Jason Avila. Batting third, first baseman number 24, Brett Patillo. Batting fourth, designated hitter number 18, Braden Dyke. Batting fifth is second baseman number 13, Keita Fugino. Batting sixth is shortstop number 8, Marcus Arocho. Batting seventh, right fielder number 25, Joey Hecker. Batting eighth is catcher number 20, Caleb Graham. And batting ninth is left fielder number 19, Josh Fisher. Their starting pitcher this evening is number 40, Mark Torr. Now the starting lineup for your Moose Jaw Miller Express. At shortstop number 22, Thomas Soto. Your designated hitter number 27, William Edwards. In center field, number 4, Chris Franks. At first base, number 25, Eduardo Sainz. Your catcher, number 18, Karen Palmer. In right field, number 9, Casey Phillips. At third base, number 11, Michael Rago. In left field, number 10, Jimmy Kurtz. At second base, number 13, Ben Wallachek. And your starting pitcher, number 14, Aiden Johnson. We ask now that you please rise, if you're able, and remove your headwear for the singing of our national anthem performed by Abby Hunt.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Thank you very much, Abby Hunt, and good evening, everybody. Welcome to Roswell's Park in Moose Jaw for Wednesday night Western Canadian Baseball League action between the visiting Fort McMurray Giants and the Moose Jaw Miller Express. I'm your host, voice of the Millers, Rod Peterson. Pleased to be joined by Jenna Moore in the broadcast booth, set to bring you the play-by-play description of Game 2 of a 4-game homestand for the Millers, which opened here last night with an 18-3 Millers victory. They're 8th in a row, and tonight they go for a club record 9th consecutive victory, and trying to do it against the 9-30 Fort McMurray Giants, and the Millers coming in with a record of 26-11 by virtue of the big victory last night here over the Giants. Here's the batting order for the visiting Fort McMurray Giants, George Strait. I love it. Oh, it's country night. Is it country night? Every night's country night. Watching Dallas on TV. You didn't tell me you were going to hit old-time George Strait songs. But the strongest thing she ever takes is a slip. This is like 45 years old, this song. Almost as old as me. Anyways, is it country night? Every night's country night. Carson Young will lead it off for the Fort McMurray Giants, batting first, the third baseman. Batting second, the center fielder, Jason Avila. Batting third, the first baseman, Brett Patillo. Batting cleanup, the designated hitter, Braden Dyke. Batting fifth, the second baseman, Kita Fujino. Batting sixth, the shortstop, Marcus Aracho. Batting seventh, the right fielder, Joey Hecker. Batting eighth, the catcher, Caleb Graham. Batting ninth, the left fielder, Josh Fisher. And their starting pitcher tonight is Mark Torr. For the 26-11 Millers, as mentioned, starting on the mound tonight, number 14, pitcher Aiden Johnson. Behind home plate, the catcher, Garen Plummer. At first base, Eduardo Saenz. At second base, Ben Wallachek. At third base, Michael Rego. The shortstop is Thomas Soto. In left field tonight, Jimmy Kurtz. In center field, Chris Franks. And in right field, Pacey Phillips. As we get ready for Tuesday night baseball. Lots of stories for you on tap over the next few hours as we get ready for the Millers and the Fort McMurray Giants here for the second time this week and second time in this ballpark this season. Carson Young will lead it off here for the Fort McMurray Giants as we get ready for a 7:06 first pitch here from Ross Wells Park in Moose Jaw. It is Miller time. Carson Young leading it off. Jason Avila is on deck for the Giants, who are in their all-black uniforms tonight. Fastball from Johnson is in the dirt. Ball one on Carson Young. The third baseman for the Giants out of Cloverdale, BC. And Johnson delivers as Young shows a bunt. It's a called strike one, 1-1 the count. Here are the leadoff hitter. Miller's Baseball brought to you by Stringham Law, Hawks Agro, and Molson Breweries. Johnson gets a bat on this one right at the center fielder, Chris Franks. Barely needs to move. Carson Young flies out to the center fielder, and that's one away here in the top of the first inning. The center fielder for the Giants, Jason Avila, will come to the plate here for Fort Mac. Brett Patillo is on deck. The left-handed hitting, Jason Avila out of Riverdale, Georgia. And a swing and a miss from Avila, 0-1. Aiden Johnson making his third start of the season for the Millers. Has a 1-0 record and a 4.50 ERA. He's a big one on the mound. Swing and a miss from Avila. 0-2. Aiden Johnson wears number 14, 6'6", out of Westminster, Colorado. Ties him with Sean Bavis as the tallest members of the ball club. Gets his bat on this one, right center field. Laying out is Will Edwards, and he can't make the catch. Chris Franks over to pick it up. And it's a one-out single for Jason Avila. Valiant effort by Pacey Phillips, actually, in right field. Will Edwards is the designated hitter tonight. Pacey laid out, but couldn't get his glove on it. And Brett Patillo, the first baseman, will come to the plate for the Giants here in the top of the first inning. It was a bit of a stunning conclusion to last night's game. The Millers were up 18-3 going to the ninth inning, and announcer James Gallo announced they were calling the game. Sidearm delivery from Johnson is in for strike one, called 0-1. It was instituted in the offseason, a 10-run mercy rule. This one hit in the air to left field. Jimmy Kurtz back, makes the catch over his left shoulder for two away. Brett Patillo flies out to the left fielder. So it's only eligible after 8 innings and only eligible if it's 10 runs or more. That fit the criteria last night, and we went home early. As it was, the game was approaching 3 hours as it was. But the Giants tapped out, said we'll give it a go tomorrow night. So 18-3 was the final, went into the books. 8th win in a row for the Moose Jaw Miller Express. Tonight they go after 9. The runner goes. The throw from Garen Plummer took a bounce in front of second base, and safe with a stolen base is Jason Avila. Speaking of, Aiden Johnson, the starting pitcher for the Millers tonight. Behind home plate is Garen Plummer. So I guess I should have read the off-season news from the winter meetings, and I'd have known they had instituted a 10-run mercy rule after 8 in the off-season, but it came in at a good time last night. 0-1 the count on Braden Dyke, the designated hitter. Kita Fujino is on deck for the Giants. And a swing and a miss. 0-2 the count on Braden Dyke. Batting .230 on the season. His 122 at-bats are second most on the ball club. He comes in as the number 4 hitter in the Giants lineup. Johnson delivers. Here is a roller foul down the third base line. I'm feeling charitable tonight only because we came up with a pretty good trivia question. Wouldn't you say, Jenna? I doubt even Wilma and Nancy can get this one for Tim Hortons. And I'm not ready to drop it just yet. You'll let everybody go get their thinking caps and the Google machine. We'll play Tim Hortons Miller's trivia. Swing and a miss. Down he goes. And that retires the side. We'll go to the bottom of the first inning. The Millers and the Giants scoreless. Soto, Edwards, and Franks due up for Moose Jaw. You're watching WCBL Baseball on FloCollege.
This July, the Okotoks Dogs and Baseball Canada will host the Road to Okotoks and the Morneau Cup National Championship at the Siemens Stadium Complex from July 14th to 19th. Come watch the top 16 youth baseball teams from across the country. These are the future stars of Canadian baseball, tomorrow's collegiate standouts and professional players, all chasing a national championship. Don't miss a week of elite competition, unforgettable moments, and the future of Canadian baseball in Okotoks.
Back for the bottom of the first in Moose Jaw. Here's the batting order for the Millers. Batting leadoff, the shortstop, number 22, Thomas Soto. Batting second, tonight's designated hitter, William Edwards. Batting third, the center fielder, Chris Franks. Batting fourth, the first baseman, Eduardo Saenz. Batting fifth, the catcher, Garen Plummer. Batting sixth, the right fielder, Pacey Phillips. Batting seventh, the third baseman, Michael Rego. Batting eighth, the left fielder, Jimmy Kurtz. And batting ninth, the second baseman, Ben Wolochek. Defensively for the Fort McMurray Giants, Mark Torr is their starting pitcher. The catcher is Caleb Graham. The first baseman is Brett Patillo. The second baseman is Kita Fujino. The third baseman is Carson Young. The shortstop is Marcus Aracho. The left fielder is Josh Fisher. The center fielder is Jason Avila. And the right fielder is Joey Hecker. As Thomas Soto will lead it off here for the Millers, the switch-hitting shortstop, named an All-Star for a third consecutive season. Last night in the series opener, Thomas walked twice, doubled, and flied out to the left fielder and center fielder in his 5 at-bats last night in the 18-3 Millers victory. First pitch from Mark Torr is in for a ball. 1-0, the count on Thomas. This one outside, 2-0. Mark Torr, making his 5th start of the season for the Fort McMurray Giants, has a record of 1-2 and a 7.36 ERA. And that one caught the outside edge of the plate. 2-1. Home plate umpires Derek Shatta. Out in the field, Mike Richards and Connor Joslin in Shatta's crew. This one fouled back by Soto, 2-2. All-Star festivities this weekend in Saskatoon. 5 Millers will participate in the 2-day event, which will include a bunting contest. Ticket packages are on sale now at the Saskatoon Berries website and WCBLbaseball.com. Have not seen any notifications that it is sold out. You heading up there, Jenna? It's a no. It's a negatory from the Moore House. Oh, you're getting ready to go to Halifax. That's right. And Thomas draws the walk. A leadoff walk for Thomas Soto here in the bottom of the 1st inning. And the designated hitter, William Edwards, will come to the plate here for the Moose Jaw Miller Express with Chris Franks on deck. Again, we got Tim Hortons Miller's Trivia coming up. I'll say a thanks on behalf of Tim Hortons for everybody who donated and participated in Tim Hortons Camp Day today. Canada's national coffee chain, taking donations to send kids to camp. First pitch on Will Edwards is low at the knees, ball 1, 1-0. Will Edwards batting .333 on the season, 6th best on the ball club. Runner goes, throw down to second, and Thomas Soto is safe with the feet first slide. And for Soto, his league-leading 35th stolen base. Thomas setting a league record last year with 70 runs scored. He's at 51 runs scored in 38 games played. This is game number 39 tonight. Will he break his own record? What do you think? Very good shot at it, especially with the way the Millers have been scoring runs of late. 18-3 the win last night. 18-11 the win in the game before at Brooks. Soto goes. This one, a looper into right field. Soto will score. Will Edwards sends him home, and it's 1-0 Millers here in the bottom of the 1st inning. A run-scoring single for Thomas Soto, who scores all the way from second base.
Number 4,
Chris Franks comes to the plate here for the Millers in the bottom of the 1st inning. Now, none out and a runner at first in the form of Will Edwards. Mark Torr on the mound for the Fort McMurray Giants. And the first pitch caught the inside edge of the plate for strike 1, called 0-1. Will Edwards takes off to second. Chris Franks is thrown out at first base. So 1 away. To second goes William Edwards, and that's 1 away.
Number 25, Eduardo Sainz.
Eduardo Sainz comes to the plate here for Moose Jaw, with now 1 out in the bottom of the 1st inning and a runner at second. That's Will Edwards. Eduardo Sainz at the plate. Garen Plummer is on deck. Miller All-Stars, Weston Walls, Jacob Glazner, the pitchers, Thomas Soto, Chris Franks, Will Edwards, the fielders. For the Fort McMurray Giants, their all-stars include Nick Sauvé, and he'll be participating in the bunt contest on Saturday. Marcus Aracho, Brett Patillo, Braden Schneider, and Mark Torr, the pitcher we're seeing here tonight. Slider in for strike 2 called. 0-2 the count on Eduardo Sainz, who is at first base tonight. Garen Plummer is on deck. This one outside for a ball. 1-2. For the hometown Berries, they're all-stars. Michael Sal and Tanner Hosick, a couple of pitchers. Outfielder Ethan Murdoch, who is also the player of the week in the Eastern Division. Gael Salinas. And catcher Gavin Panks. Those are the Berries all-stars we'll see this weekend at Next Gen Patch. The Berry Patch. Here's a roller foul down the third base line. 1-2 the count on Eduardo Sainz. One out and a runner at second here for the Millers, and they're first. 23 degrees Celsius at game time, 73 Fahrenheit, and the wind is east at 11. And mainly cloudy, as you can see on our FloCollege cameras. Mark Torr checks the runner at second. And now they got Will Edwards in a rundown. And he is tagged out on the base paths for 2 away. So now 2 out in the bottom of the first, and a 1-2 count on Eduardo Sainz here. 1-0 the Millers lead on a Thomas Soto run, his 52nd run scored this season. Eduardo Sainz at the plate, Garen Plummer on deck. Torr kicks and delivers. This one fouled off. And out of play over towards Memorial Field, just south of us. Sainz stays alive at 1-2. Medicine Hat Mavericks All-Stars, Nate Young, Carter Roth, Blake Dale, Derek Archer, and Tanner Hall. Here's a grounder to short. Bobbled, and the throw to first, not in time. The shortstop, Aracho, bobbled it, and the split second it took him to get it controlled allows Eduardo Sainz to score on a single. And that'll bring to the plate Garen Plummer here in the bottom of the first inning. First pitch from Torr is outside for ball 1. Out of Homer Glen, Illinois, Mark Torr, 6'2", 200, and plays at Edgewood University. This one inside at the waist for ball 2, 2-0 on Garen Plummer, who homered last night, a solo shot in the second inning. For Garen, that was his 4th home run of the season, tying him for the team lead with Chris Franks. There are a few Millers that probably could have got more consideration to be all-stars. Garen Plummer would be one. Here's a hot one down the third base line, snared by the third baseman Young. Throw over to first is in time to end the inning. Garen Plummer thrown out by the third baseman. And that will end the inning. We'll go to the second with the Millers up 1-0. Due up for the visitors, Kita Fujino, Aracho, and Hecker. And you're watching WCBL Baseball on FloCollege. All right. Back here for the top of the second inning. Due up for the visiting Fort McMurray Giants, Kita Fujino, Marcus Aracho, and Joey Hecker. And just talking to Chumley, the music man, Friday Night Fever by George Strait was the entrance music that this pitcher, Aiden Johnson, wanted. I said I wasn't prepared for that. You haven't played that all year. And he said, that's Aiden Johnson's entrance music. This is his first start of the season. I've been in the George Strait fan club since I was 12 years old, right around the time that song came out. So it caught me a little off guard. 1-0, the Millers lead on a Thomas Soto run scored. And the second baseman, Kita Fujino, will come to the plate for the visiting Fort McMurray Giants for the first time tonight. Millers Baseball brought to you by Boston Pizza, Main and Thatcher, 54 Dental, and Canadian Tire. Fujino from Yashio Saitama plays at Otero College. First pitch from Johnson is in for ball one. Last night, Fujino came to the plate 3 times, was 2 for 3. Gets his bat on this one. He's 1 for 1 tonight as this lands in the gap in right center. He's around first to second, and he's safe. A leadoff double for Kato Fujina here to get the second inning going. And Marcus Aracho, the shortstop, will come to the plate here for Fort McMurray. He out of Arecibo, Puerto Rico, and plays at Oakland City University. Marcus Aracho, the shortstop at the plate, now with a runner at second and none out. 6'6", Aiden Johnson delivers the fastball and a swing and a miss from Fujino. 0-1. Continuing our tour through the East for All-Stars for the Weyburn Beavers, Logan Lynch, Logan Kinter, Braden Mayencourt, Joe Medill, and Rob Gurney named All-Stars. This bunt attempt rolls foul down the first baseline. 0-2, the count on Marcus Aracho. Some of those names for the Weyburn Beavers been around for a long time, especially Rob Gurney. What a nice anointment in his final season out of Campbell River, BC. Rob Gurney's visited this ballpark many times as a Beaver, and you know his twin brother Austin was a 4-year Miller. Swing and a miss, and down goes Marcus Aracho for a strikeout, and that's one away here in the top of the second inning. That'll bring to the plate the right fielder Joey Hecker with Caleb Graham on deck. Hecker did not play last night in the Giants' 18-3 loss here. First ball in, fastball in for strike one called, 0-1. Joey Hecker from Pullman, Washington. And he plays at Washington State University, where the school is located. Comebacker to Johnson. He's got Fujino in a rundown, and his throw is into the knees of the third baseman, Michael Rago. Air on the pitcher, and Joey Hecker reaches on, well, you could call it a fielder's choice or an error. Either way, the Giants have runners on the corners here with one out, and Caleb Graham comes to the plate here for the visitors. Definitely a different tale from last night's start. Big time. First pitch from Johnson is low and away for ball one. Millers jumped out to a 6-0 lead in the first inning last night. Not the case here. They do have a 1-0 lead here in the second, but things have tightened up. Tying run is 90 feet away. Fastball high for ball two, 2-0. And the go-ahead run is at first. This one fouled off down the first baseline, 2-1. Regina Red Sox All-Stars, Brady Bye, Will Toger, Justin Samard, Kagan Baker, and David Gordon will be representing the league champs this weekend in Saskatoon. Runner goes. Here's a one-hopper to short. Thomas Soto up with that. Throw to first will get Caleb Graham, but it'll score a run. Kita Fujino plates. And we got a tie game here in the top of the second inning. Caleb Graham grounds out to the shortstop. 2 away. And the number 9 hitter, left fielder Josh Fisher, comes to the plate for the Fort McMurray Giants. They come in 6th in the West Division at 9-30. First pitch in for strike one, called 0-1. As you know, the Millers and Saskatoon Berries are in a dead heat for first in the division with identical 26-11 records. It may end up coming down to the season series. Here's a roller right up the middle that'll get through. Being waved home is Joey Hecker, and the Giants have taken the lead. And in the rundown, Josh Fisher eludes the first baseman Eduardo Saenz, and he's safe with an RBI single. And the Millers trailed 2-1 for the first time in this home series. They trailed the visiting Fort McMurray Giants as Carson Young comes to the plate for the visitors, who now lead 2-1. Carson Young flied out to the center fielder back in the first inning. Top of the order here for the visiting Giants. Young got a hold of that one, but yanked it foul down the left field line, 0-1. Johnson paints the inside edge with that. 0-2 the count on the number 1 hitter, Carson Young. Jason Avila is on deck. Runner goes, swing and a miss, and down goes Carson Young swinging. That will retire the side. The Giants scored 2, however, will go to the bottom of the second with Fort McMurray up 2-1. Due up for the Millers, Phillips, Rago, and Kurtz. And you're watching WCBL Baseball on FloCollege.
The live sports experience is changing. Teams and facilities are under pressure to provide online and in-venue entertainment. IKS Live has the right team to deliver. We provide service across North America and produce the best fan experience, in the seats or streaming to you. IKS Live continues to bring you the best seat in the house.
For over a century, we've been more than just lawyers. We're your neighbors, your friends, and your strongest advocates. With locations across the prairies, we're everywhere you are. Stringham, your local lawyers.
For more than 25 years, we've been there, helping Canadians find the extra space they need to grow and to create new memories. Access Storage. Try 4 weeks free. Details at accessstorage.ca.
And let's go, Millers.
Back at Ross Wells Park in Moose Jaw, we go to the bottom of the second inning. The Fort McMurray Giants now have a 2-1 lead, and due up for them, for the Millers, Pacey Phillips, Michael Rago, and Jimmy Kurtz. Pacey Phillips, the right fielder, coming to the plate for the first time tonight. Pride of Kerrobert, Saskatchewan, who plays at Bismarck State College. He's in right field tonight, giving William Edwards a break. And the first pitch from Mark Tor is off the outside edge for a ball outside 1-0. Miller's Baseball brought to you by the Moose Jaw Warriors. 2026-27 season tickets are available now. Here is a one-hopper to short. Aracho up with that, but he took the first baseman off the bag. He was unable to tag the batter, Pacey Phillips, and he is safe at first. An error being charged to the shortstop. Second error committed by the Giants tonight, and the tying run is now aboard. The go-ahead run at the plate. Michael Muscles Rego coming to the plate for the first time tonight. From Bensonville, Illinois, Michael Rego. Where's number 11? First-year Miller. Batting .293 on the season. The curve is in for ball one, low and away, 1-0. It's game 2 of a 4-game homestand. Thursday, Friday, the Energy City Cactus Rats will be in here for their only visit of the season. Throw over, and Pacey Phillips is back in time. We have our Tim Hortons Miller trivia loaded up and ready to go. You're good. The way to answer the trivia question is via Twitter. You can write me on my mentions or DMs, whoever's in first, at Rod Peterson. So get it ready, RODPEDERSEN. We have not played Tim Hortons Miller trivia since, I don't think, Canada Day. Does that sound right, Jenna? Yeah. It's a getter. Another throw over, and Pacey Phillips is back in time. Okay, enough Mickey Mousin. Are you ready, Wilma? What is the Miller record for wins in a season? How many? They're at 26. She has no clue. Swing and a miss from Rego. Throw down to second, and safe at second is Pacey Phillips. She has disqualified herself from the running, Wilma. She says she doesn't know. What is the Miller record for wins in a season by the club? No hints yet. It wasn't real hard for us to find. You were off by 1, Jenna. That wasn't bad, but close only counts and not trivia. Yeah, horseshoes and hand grenades, exactly. 3-1 the count here on Michael Rego, the third baseman. What is the record for wins in a season by the Millers? You can DM me or write me in my mentions at Rod Peterson. And the winner will get a gift card from Tim Hortons. Check swing from Rego. It's ball 4 is the call, and Michael Rego is aboard with a walk here with his first plate appearance. The left fielder, Jimmy Kurtz, comes to the plate here from Buena, New Jersey. Jimmy Kurtz, the left fielder, comes to the plate for the first time. Runners at first and second. Jimmy lays down the bunt, lands foul down the third baseline. First one through on Twitter X with a trivia question. What's the Miller record for wins in a season by the club? No hints yet. Shouldn't be that hard. And the winner will get a Tim Hortons gift card, courtesy of the Rod Peterson Show. Ball 1-1 the count here on Jimmy Kurtz. He's appeared in 18 of the Millers' 38 games this season, batting .250 on the year. Here's the 1-1 from Mark Tor. Off-speed pitch outside for ball 2, 2-1. From Caldwell University, Jimmy Kurtz, 6'4", 195. It was a pleasure to meet His father, Jim Sr., Canada Day, made the trip up here from Atlantic City, New Jersey. This one fouled off by Jimmy, 2-2, where he is the entertainment director at Harrah's. I'm sure it's just as exciting as it sounds. 2-2 the count here on Jimmy Kurtz. Runners at first and second. Pacey Phillips at second. Michael Rago at first. 2-1. The Fort McMurray Giants lead this one here in the bottom of the second inning. And a swing and a miss from Kurtz, and he goes down swinging for one away. That will bring to the plate the birthday boy, Ben Wolochek, today. How about that? Ben will be very happy to have family in town celebrating his birthday with him, and let's see if he's got something in his bat here with his first at bat of the night. Tying run is at second. Go ahead run at first. Sidearm delivery from Tor is in the dirt for ball one, 1-0. Outside for ball two, 2-0. The count on Wolochek, who comes to the plate for the first time of the game tonight. Ben batting .357. That's fourth best on the club. His 21 stolen bases are second only to Thomas Soto's 35. 2-0 the count on Ben. And that one is right down the pipe for strike one, called 2-1. Wolochek's drawn 20 walks. That's fourth most on the club. Chris Franks leads in that category with 31. 2 on, 1 out here in the bottom of the second. Mark Tor checks the runner at second. Delivers, and a swing and a miss from Wolochek. Tip foul, they say. 2-2. This one clubbed foul down the first baseline by Wolochek. Stays alive at 2-2. Again, last night's game called after 8. A new rule invoked in the offseason, voted on by the WCBL governors. A mercy rule can be invoked with a lead of 10 runs or more after 8 innings, and that fit the criteria last night. Here's the 2-2 on the birthday boy, Ben Wolochek. This one popped up in the infield. The shortstop, Aracho, comes under it, right in behind second base, makes the catch for 2 away. Ben Wolochek flies out to the shortstop.
Number 22, Thomas Soto.
Top of the order we go. Thomas Soto comes to the plate for the second time tonight. Thomas walked and scored a run back in the first inning. Swing and a miss from Soto. 0-1. Thomas batting .362. Third best on the ball club is 153 at bats. Now lead the club in that category. As a matter of fact, he leads in most categories. Leads in runs scored, hits, stolen bases. Mark Torr on the mound here, all-star pitcher for the Fort McMurray Giants out of Homer Glen, Illinois. Anytime. The 0-1 on Soto, outside for a ball, 1-1. Soto gets a bat on this one, high in the air, deep left field, and the catch is made over the shoulder of the left fielder, Fisher, and that will end the inning. Thomas Soto flies out to the left fielder and will go to the third with the Fort McMurray Giants leading at 2-1. Due up for them, Avila, Patillo, and Dyke, and you're watching WCBL Baseball on FloCollege. Back for the third inning at Roswell's Park, where the lights have come on this cloudy night here for the Fort McMurray Giants and Moose Jaw Miller Express. Game 2 of their 2-game set. Jason Avila, the center fielder, will lead it off here for Fort McMurray. Avila, Patillo, and Dyke are due up for the Giants. Avila singled back in the first inning and was left stranded at second. Fastball from Aiden Johnson gets through past the diving Thomas Soto at short, and it's a leadoff single for Jason Avila here in the top of the third inning.
Number 24, Brett Patillo. He's our most
Brett Patillo will come to the plate, an all-star for the Giants. The first baseman out of Magnolia, Texas. He flied out to the left fielder back in the first inning. 6'6", Aiden Johnson delivers in there for strike one, called 0-1. This one inside at the knees. 1-1 the count here on Patillo. We mentioned checking the scores. Millers and Saskatoon Berries in a dead heat. Identical records for first place in the East. This one caught the inside edge for strike two call, 1-2. Berries had the Lethbridge Bulls in there tonight. They are scoreless, top of the third inning at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. Bulls and Berries scoreless. Runner goes. Here's a roller towards short. Backhanded stab by Soto. Throw to first is in time for one away. Brett Patillo grounds out to the shortstop. And that's one away. Jason Avila is over to second base, and Braden Dyke will come to the plate, number 18, the designated hitter for the Fort McMurray Giants. First pitch is popped up towards second. Ben Wolochek waves everybody off and makes the catch. And Braden Dyke flies out to the second baseman for 2 away here in the top of the third inning. Hey, we're still looking for a winner of our Tim Hortons Miller Trivia. What's the Millers' record for wins in a season? How many and what year? You're not eligible, Jenna. I gave you a gift card anyway, so does it really matter? Write me on Twitter, mentions or DMs at Rod Peterson on Twitter. This delivery is inside at the knees for ball 1. 1-0 on Kita Fujino, the second baseman. Marcus Aracho is on deck here for the Giants. The 1-0 from Johnson is in there for strike one, called 1-1. Fujino doubled and scored a run back in the second inning. 2-1, the Giants lead it here. Top 3. Inside for ball 2, 2-1. Millers Baseball brought to you by Ottawa Real Estate, Moose Jaw Funeral Home, and Heartland Financial. That's where you'll find Millers GM Corey Olofsson, but not tonight. He is in attendance down at the Park Hotel Beer Gardens chatting with Mr. Lonnie Wolochek. Inside for ball 3, 3-1. The count here on Kita Fujino. Strike 2 called, and it's a full count here on the second baseman. 1 on, 2 out in the top of the third. Fujino digs into the batter's box, number 13. Their second baseman stares down Aiden Johnson, the 6'6" righty, comes set. And the delivery is fouled off and out of play by Fujino. Stays alive at 3-2. Foul ball for Elk Ridge Glass. We know Glass. Call 631-0883. And the fastball is high and inside for ball 4, and Fujino is away to first. 2 on and 2 out now in the third as Marcus Aracho, the shortstop, comes to the plate for Fort McMurray. He struck out back in the second inning. The Millers starter tonight, Aiden Johnson, working into the third inning here, down 2-1 to the visiting Giants. Johnson making his third start of the season. He's got a 1-0 record. This one fouled off and out of play. Johnson with an ERA of 4.50 out of Westminster, Colorado. He plays at the University of Mary. This one swung on and fouled off toward the Millers' dugout, fielded by Weston Walls over there. We're going to see him at some point in this homestand. He and Jacob Glazner, I would think. Sorry, Glazner got the win last night, so I'm not sure who we'll see over the rest of the course of this homestand. Other than Weston, you got to think. 1-2 the count here on Marcus Aracho. This one popped up, foul territory down the first base line, Eduardo Sainz will make the catch just inside the fence to retire the side. And the Giants will leave one on. We'll go to the bottom of the third with Fort McMurray up 2-1 here on FloCollege Baseball.
Hey, baseball fans, make sure to stay up to date with your favorite teams across the league by subscribing to the WCBL YouTube channel right now. We have tons of free coverage for you over there, including daily highlights, full archive game day previews, plus the WCBL report with myself and Joe McFarland every Wednesday. It's all in one spot, the WCBL YouTube channel. Subscribe today.
Get ready, sweetest baseball event in Canada. All the very best players from around the WCBL will be in the very best city for the 2026 All-Star Weekend. Don't be sour. Get your tickets to the summer's biggest baseball event now. Hey now, you're an all-star. Get game on, go play.
Leading off for your Millers tonight is number 27, William Edwards.
All right, back for the bottom of the third. Will Edwards, Chris Franks, and Eduardo Sainz due up here for the Moose Jaw Miller Express, trailing 2-1 here in the bottom of the third. And the first pitch from Mark Torr is a curveball in for strike one, 0-1. Miller's Baseball brought to you in part by the Ultimate Fan Zone, your authentic MLB fan store for official jerseys, hats, t-shirts, hoodies, and more. Game day every day at UFZ. And Will Edwards cracks this one for a base hit into center. A leadoff single for Will Edwards here in the bottom of the third. And he's 2 for 2 at the plate tonight with a pair of singles. Chris Franks comes to the plate. Chris Franks, one of 5 Miller's All-Stars. He grounded out back in the first inning. He's 0 for 1, but 1 for 2 tonight as he laces this one for a base hit into left field. And the Millers have runners at first and second now with back-to-back singles to open their half of the third inning. Eduardo Sainz comes to the plate. Out of Laredo, Texas, Eduardo Sainz comes to the plate for a second time. He singled back in the first inning. A hush over the ballpark here with 2 on and none out. Tying runs at second. Go ahead run at third. Here's a liner to third. Young, the throw down to second. Not in time. They got one, though. Eduardo Sainz lines out to the third baseman. And the runners froze. Will Edwards stays at second. Chris Franks at first. Garen Plummer comes to the plate here for Moose Jaw in the bottom of the third inning. With now 1 out as Eduardo Sainz lines out to the third baseman. Mark Torr on the mound for Fort McMurray, one of their All-Stars who will represent the West in the All-Star festivities this weekend in Saskatoon. Crowd getting into it here. They can sniff a rally. 2 on, 1 out, and Garen Plummer at the plate. He homered last night in the second inning, his 4th of the season. Torr kicks and delivers, and this one is in for strike 1 called, 0-1. Big time movement on that delivery from Torr. You can see why he's an all-star out there in the West Division. Out of Homer Glen, Illinois, the 0-1 swung on in the air to center field, back to the track, and leaping to make the catch is the center fielder Jason Avila. Will Edwards tags up, and he's away to third. Garen Plummer flies out to the center fielder, however, and that's 2 away. And Pacey Phillips comes to the plate for the Millers for a second time. He reached on an error back in the second inning. Now the tying run is 90 feet away. Will Edwards stands at third, and the go-ahead run is at first. Chris Franks. Runner goes. There will be no throw down to second, and now the Millers have runners at second and third with 2 out and Pacey Phillips at the plate looking at a 1-0 count. Make that 1-1 the count here on Pacey out of Bismarck State. Tonight's right fielder. And a swing and a miss from Pacey. He's down on the count 1-2. Michael Rago is on deck for the Millers here. 2 out, runners at second and third as Pacey Phillips steps into the batter's box. Millers after a club record 9th straight win here tonight. The 1-2 is a slider outside for ball 2. 2-2, the count on the right fielder. And this one right down the pipe. Pacey Phillips caught looking, and the strikeout will end the inning. And we will go to the 4th with the Millers trailing this one 2-1 to the visiting Fort McMurray Giants. We'll be right back on FloCollege Baseball. I haven't given the answer yet. What's the record for wins in a season? What's their most wins they've ever had in a season? Still thinking? You're eligible. We don't have a winner yet, so. You like Tim Hortons? I didn't ask you. We have a winner. Charity Tate Shada. Where's my bell? No more phone calls, folks. We have a winner. Joey Hecker will open it up in the top of the fourth inning here for the Fort McMurray Giants. Joey Hecker, Caleb Graham, and Josh Fisher are due up. 1-1 the count here on the right fielder, Joey Hecker, who reached on an air and scored a run back in the second inning. Here's a roller down to second. Ben Wallachuk up with that. He's got time to make the throw over to first in time for one away. Joey Hecker grounds out to the second baseman. And that's one away as the catcher, number 20, Caleb Graham, comes to the plate here for the Fort McMurray Giants, who lead 2-1 here, top four. Caleb Graham out of Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Plays at Vancouver Island University. There's a lot of players in the WCBL out of that league. Strike one called by home plate umpire Derek Shatta. 0-1 on Caleb Graham, who grounded out to the shortstop back in the second inning. This one swung on, shallow left field. Soto back pedaling, waves everybody off and makes the catch for two away. Caleb Graham flies out to the shortstop. 2 out here in the fourth. And the number 9 hitter, left fielder Josh Fisher, comes to the plate for the Giants with Carson Young on deck. Josh Fisher out of Parkland, Alberta. He's another from Vancouver Island University. 2 out and none on here in the fourth. First pitch from Aiden Johnson is low for ball 1, 1-0. Your Miller's starting pitcher tonight, Aiden Johnson, 6'6", 210 from Westminster, Colorado. This one piped for strike one called, 1-1. Josh Fisher at the plate. Carson Young is on deck. Giants up 2-1. Looking for their 10th win of the season against 30 losses and prevent a 9th consecutive Miller's win. Strike two called. 1-2 the count here on Josh Fisher, who singled back in the second inning and was left stranded. And this one is inside for ball 2, 2-2. Full count here on the number 9 hitter, left fielder Josh Fisher. And ball 4. A 2-out walk issued to Josh Fisher here, and we will go to the top of the order. Number 17, Carson Young, will come to the plate here for the visiting Fort McMurray Giants, who have a 2-1 lead here. Miller's coming into the record of 26-11, and indeed, Charity got it. 38 wins is the Miller's record. Back in 2023, swing and a miss from Carson Young, 0-1. Just before I got here, what were you doing in 2023, Jenna? You're up to no good, I'm guessing. Taking photos for the Millers. Here's a chopper to short. Soto with a throw to first is in time, and that will retire the side as Carson Young grounds out to the shortstop. We'll go to the bottom of the fourth. Rago, Kurtz, and Wallachek due up for the Millers, who trail 2-1 here on FloCollege.
For over a century, we've been more than just lawyers. Your neighbors, your friends, and your strongest advocates. With locations across the prairies, we're everywhere you are. Stringham, your local lawyers.
For more than 25 years, we've been there, helping Canadians find the extra space they need to grow and to create new memories. Access Storage. Try 4 weeks free. Details at accessstorage.ca.
Bottom of the fifth at historic Ross Wells Park in Moose Jaw. 2-1, the Fort McMurray Giants lead this game. Due up for the Millers, Michael Rego, Jimmy Kurtz, and Ben Wallachuk. The third baseman, Michael Muscles Rego, comes to the plate here for Moose Jaw. I love the Italian music. You just feel like you're in an Italian restaurant, don't you? Feel like you're in an Italian restaurant when you hear this? Maybe you haven't been in an Italian restaurant. There's not too many in Moose Jaw. Olive Garden, yeah. I don't think they play that kind of music there, though. From Bensonville, Illinois, Michael Rego out to the plate for a second time, facing Mark Torr here, and the first pitch is in for strike one, called 0-1. Rego walked back in the second inning and was left stranded. This one swung on, foul down the right field line. 0-2 on Rego. Another great crowd. Words getting around that the Millers are hot, hot, hot. First place in the East. Second overall in the league. Here playing game number 39 of the season. This curveball is swung on and fouled back for strike two. 0-2 on Rego. We'll try and find out who the starting pitchers are for Thursday and Friday and pass them along if we can. You're going to want to see every Miller picture, but especially Weston Walls, the graduated senior who leads the WCBL in innings pitched and strikeouts. He's the ace out of Central Methodist. 6'5", 220. You got to figure he'll start Thursday or Friday. Here's a roller down towards second. Fugino up with that. And his throw to first is on time and on target. One away. Michael Rego grounds out to the second baseman. Jimmy Kurtz, the left fielder, comes to the plate.
Number 10, Jimmy Kurtz.
Jimmy Kurtz comes to the plate. He struck out back in the second inning. Oh, how about this? Here's one for you. Jim Kurtz Sr. sending me a note, Jen, as his son is at the plate. Jimmy's aunt, Ann, is here in the ballpark tonight, in from New Jersey. An executive at Rivers Casino in Philadelphia. Jim writes LOL on that. They like gambling in the Kurtz family. So Ann is here tonight, Jimmy's aunt. I hope she's enjoying the Jaw. Tourist hub here in the summer. I'll tell you what, it is rocking this summer here in the Band City. People asking me, when are the Millers playing? When are the Millers playing? Do you have the internet? It's not that hard to find out. 1-1 the count here on Jimmy. This one outside for a ball two. 2-1. Let's see if our in-house announcer, Michaela's aware of the Kurtz family in attendance here tonight. Curveball outside for a ball three. 3-1 from Torr. Mark Torr, the starting pitcher here for Fort McMurray tonight out of Edgewood University, working into the fourth with a 2-1 lead. 3-1 the count here on the left fielder, Jimmy Kurtz. And it's outside for a ball 4. Jimmy Kurtz draws a walk. And with 1 out, now 1 on. The birthday boy, second baseman Ben Wallachek, will come to the plate for the Moose Jaw Millers. We had that late doubleheader. Remember that a couple of Fridays ago against Saskatoon? It went till 1 a.m., 2 a.m. Central. I said to Lonnie Wallachek, I said, Lonnie, you weren't watching all of that. He said, I watch every game, Rod, every pitch. I said, I'm so sorry. We didn't have much left in the tank by the end of that thing. Nobody did. Which was incidentally. Here's a screamer along the ground to short. Aracho, the throw to first is not in time, but they got the lead runner. Jimmy Kurtz is thrown out at second. Ben Wallachek is safe in the fielder's choice. And with 2 out, and now Ben Wallachek at first will go to the top of the order, and Thomas Soto will come to the plate here for the Millers. That was the last game the Millers lost. They've been on an 8-0 heater since. Away goes Wallachek. Throw down to second, almost took the pitcher's head off. He wasn't expecting it. And Ben Wallachek is safe with a stolen base here in the 4th inning. He represents the tying run. The go-ahead run is at the plate in Thomas Soto. That was the second game of the doubleheader that went till 1 a.m., which the Millers won the opener against the Berries, lost the nightcap, and then beat the Berries in the lone game on the Saturday night. Swept a double dip with Regina Tuesday, went on the road for 5, won all 5 of those. And then last night here, the series opener against these Fort McMurray Giants. Runner goes, and there will be no throw down to third, and Ben Wallachek is safe at third with the slide. Three and 0 the count here on Thomas Soto. That one right down the pipe for strike 1 called, 3-1. Thomas tonight is 1 for 2. He walked and flied out to left. But he did reach first back in the first inning with a leadoff walk. And ball 4 on Thomas Soto. A 2-out walk drawn, and Will Edwards will come to the plate here in the 4th inning with runners at first and third and 2 out. Will Edwards coming to the plate here for the Millers. Throw over to first, and Soto's back. Will Edwards tonight has a pair of singles in 2 plate appearances. Runner goes, and Thomas Soto is safe at second, standing up. Runners at second and third now with 2 out, and an 0-1 count on Will Edwards. He was tagged out on the base paths back in the first inning, left stranded in the third. That one caught the outside edge for strike 2, called 0-2 here on Will Edwards. outside for ball one, 1-2 on Will. And here comes Wallachek home. It's tied the game as the Giants were caught napping. Ben Wallachek steals home, and it's a 2-2 game, and now the go-ahead run is at second in Thomas Soto. Crowd roaring its approval for Ben Wallachek stealing home here on his birthday, and it's a 2-2 ball game in the fourth. Will Edwards looking at a 1-2 count. Soto out to a big lead at second. Tor with the delivery outside for ball two, and Thomas Soto steals third. This one swung on by Edwards and fouled off over onto Caribou Street. The go-ahead run 90 feet away here. Thomas Soto. 2-2 the count on Will Edwards. And 2 out here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Will Edwards at the plate. Chris Franks is due up, the team's RBI leader. Here is a looper foul down the first base line. And Will Edwards stays alive at 2-2. Fans shouting encouragement to the big Aussie. Quite a battle for the RBI lead. Chris Franks leads with 39. Garen Plummer 37. Will Edwards 36. Here's the 2-2 on Edwards from Mark Tor. And this one, a one-hopper to short. Aracho up with that, and his throw to first is in time, and that will end the inning. But the Millers score one. That's tied the ball game 2-2, and we'll go to the fifth in a 2-2 deadlock. Avila, Patillo, and Dyke due up for the Giants. We'll be right back here on FloCollege.
Just watching that. Can I get a go Miller from you guys? Go Miller!
Back for the fifth inning at Roswell's Park in Moose Jaw. 2-2 is the score. Aiden Johnson working into the fifth. The starter tonight for Moose Jaw out of Westminster, Colorado. Pretty good pitching battle going on tonight between Johnson and the Giants' Mark Tor. 2-2 is the score. Again, tomorrow night, Game 3 of this 4-game midweek homestand for the Millers. The Energy City Cactus Rats will be in town for a 7:05 first pitch. Cactus Rats here Thursday and Friday. Jason Avila is the leadoff hitter for Fort McMurray. The numbers 2, 3, and 4 hitters are due up. Jason Avila, Brett Patillo, and Braden Dyke. First pitch is low and inside for ball 1-1-0. Checking the scores, Lethbridge now a 1-0 lead at Saskatoon, top of the 4th inning. Keeping a close eye on that one here. This one skied down the third base line, foul, and into the CNS Builders Millers bullpen. Regina Red Sox a 3-2 lead at home over Brooks there in the 4th. Energy City out to a big 8-1 lead at Swift Current. They are in the 4th inning. Two and one the count here on Jason Avila, the leadoff hitter, the center fielder, who has a pair of singles in his 2 at-bats here tonight. The 2-1 swung on, and 2-2 is the count here on Avila. Miller's Baseball brought to you by CNS Builders and Minute Muffler Brake and Wheel. Ball 3 inside, and it's a full count here on Avila. On deck, Brett Patillo, the first baseman. The payoff pitch swung on, and down goes Avila for one away. 4th strikeout rung up by Aiden Johnson here tonight, unofficially. And Brett Patillo, the first baseman, will come to the plate here for the visitors.
He gets out 2 beers for $10 in the Park Hotel Beer Garden.
Mentioned the next game for the Millers is Thursday against Energy City. Next game for the Giants is part of this long East Division road trip. They are at the Swift Current 57s on Thursday night. And umpire Derek Shattuck calls time. First baseman Brett Patillo at the plate out of Magnolia, Texas. He is 0 for 2 on the night. Flied out to left and grounded out to short. Braden Dyke is on deck. None on and 1 out. This one fouled straight back. 0-2 on Patillo. He's another of the Fort McMurray All-Stars, who you'll be seeing here on FloCollege in the All-Star Game festivities this weekend from Saskatoon. High for ball 1, 1-2 on Patillo. Curveball swung on, and down he goes for 2 away. Back-to-back strikeouts for Aiden Johnson collected. 5 strikeouts on the night, and Braden Dyke will come to the plate here for the Giants with Kita Fujino on deck. And Dyke is 0 for 2. First pitch swinging, a roller that'll get through into left field for a base hit. Braden Dyke is aboard with a 2-out single here in the top of the 5th inning. And the go-ahead run now is at first, with Fujino coming to the plate, the second baseman. Tonight he has doubled and walked. First pitch in for strike 1, called 0-1 here on Fujino. out of Yeshio Saitama and Otero College. Here's a roller to short. Thomas Soto, the underhanded toss to Ben Wolochuk in time, and that will retire the side. Fagino grounds out to the shortstop for 3 away, and we'll go to the bottom of the 5th. Due up for the Millers, Edwards, Franks, and Signs. 2-2 the score at Roswells Park on FloCollege Baseball.
Leading off for the Miller Express, number 4, Chris Franks.
Bottom of the 5th, a far tighter game than last night here between the Millers and the Fort McMurray Giants. 2-2 going to the Millers' 5th. And Chris Franks is the leadoff hitter for Moose Jaw here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Chris Franks, Eduardo Signs, and Garen Plummer due up for the home side. First pitch swinging in the air down the third baseline, fair into the corner, fielded over there by Josh Fisher, and it's a stand-up double for Chris Franks to lead off the Millers' 5th. Eduardo Signs due up now, tonight's first baseman for Moose Jaw. Millers baseball brought to you by Heidelberg Materials, Heartland Financial Group, Moose Jaw, Carpet One, McDougall Acres Grain-X Incorporated, and Casino Moose Jaw. Up late? So are we. Casino Moose Jaw. Mark Torr working into the 5th inning, the starting pitcher for the Fort McMurray Giants. Although we're getting some action in their bullpen here in the 5th inning. Eduardo Signs today has singled and lined out to the third baseman. First pitch swinging, that'll get through and score a run. Around third comes Chris Franks, he scores. 3-2 Millers, and they have their first lead of the night. It's a run-scoring single for Eduardo Signs here in the bottom of the 5th inning. And some life in the ballpark. See everybody clapping at the Millers dugout and in the crowd here at Roswells Park. First lead of the night for the Millers as they go after a club record 9th consecutive victory. Garen Plummer at the plate here for Moose Jaw tonight. He has grounded out to third and flied out to center field. Curveball is outside for ball 1-1-0. Really enjoyed that visit last night with Pete from Arizona that was up visiting all the ballparks but one in the WCBL. Stopped in here at Roswells Park last night, and I'm guessing he's at Regina tonight. I never asked him where he was going next. He said the only ballpark he would not visit on this trip would be Fort McMurray, just too far out of the way. I said, bro, I get it. He could be in Saskatoon tonight. He could be in Regina. He could be in Swifty. I don't know. Never got his digits. And he didn't seem like a Facebook type or Instagram type. You know what I mean, Jenna? He was enthralled with those poplar trees in the outfield, though. How tall would you think those are? At least 4 stories, maybe 5. Everybody's in love with those when they come to Ross Wells Park. This one swung on high in the air to left field. Coming under it, Fisher for the Giants to make the catch for 1 away. Garen Plummer flies out to the left fielder for 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th inning.
Number 9, Casey Phillips.
Pacey Phillips comes to the plate here. Third plate appearance tonight for the Robert Saskatchewan product. Reached on an error and struck out tonight. First pitch is in low for ball 1, 1-0 here on Pacey Phillips. 3-2, the Millers lead now, and a Chris Franks run scored thanks to the Eduardo Signs single. And now there's 1 out, 1 on here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Check swing from Pacey and called strike 1-1. Two and 1 the count here on the right fielder, Pacey Phillips. Tor kicks and delivers this one fouled back and out of play onto the freshly paved parking lot just west of the stadium, in between Ross Wells Park and Peacock High School.
Is a little bit on the fans in Edmonton to start showing.
Okay, set to go. 2-2 the count here on Pacey Phillips. Michael Rago is on deck. 3-2 the Millers lead this one in the 5th. This one from Tor is well outside for a full count here on the right fielder from Bismarck State. Pacey comes in, having appeared in 26 of the Millers' 38 games, batting .287. Full count on him here. Tor delivers low for ball 4.
Number 11.
Eduardo Signs to second, Pacey Phillips to first, and Michael Rago comes to the plate for the 3rd time. Michael Rago has walked and grounded out to second tonight. And now the skipper for the Giants is calling time for a mound visit, and we'll step back a moment with the Millers leading 3-2 in the 5th. Be right back.
For official jerseys, hats, t-shirts, hoodies, and
This July, the Okotoks Dogs and Baseball Canada will host the Road to Okotoks and the Morneau Cup National Championship at the Seaman Stadium Complex from July 14th to 19th. Come watch the top 16 youth baseball teams from across the country. These are the future stars of Canadian baseball, tomorrow's collegiate standouts and professional players, all chasing a national championship. Don't miss a week of elite competition, unforgettable moments, and the future of Canadian baseball in Okotoks.
Well, Mr. Burns had done it. The power plant had won it with Roger Clemens.
Number 11, Michael.
All right, we've had a pitching change for the Fort McMurray Giants here in the 5th inning. Gabe Smitherman has come into the game in a relief role. Number 4 out of Chehalis, Washington. Gabe Smitherman on the mound for the Fort McMurray Giants here facing Michael Rego with 1 out and 2 men on for the Millers, who lead 3-2 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. And the first pitch from Smitherman is in for strike one, called 0-1. Opens up with the heater. Mark Torr worked 4 1/3 innings unofficially for the Giants. Allowed 3 runs, 5 hits, struck out 2, walked 5. Outside with this delivery, 1-1. The count here on Rego. Fastball caught the top of the strike zone for strike 2, called 1-2. This pitch is wild, gets past the catcher, Graham, and the runners advance. Eduardo Signs to third, Pacey Phillips to second. And the Millers with a 3-2 lead here have runners in scoring position with 1 out. Somebody sending you the highlights, Jenna, or what? Nice. 3-2 Millers in their 5th after a club record 9th consecutive victory here tonight. Now umpire Derek Shatta halts play. And now Rego steps into the batter's box. First-year Miller from Bensonville, Illinois, is walked and grounded out to second tonight. Cloud cover here in Ross Wells Park. A coolish night, but dry. Fastball fouled back for a 2-2 count on Michael Rego. Jimmy Kurtz is on deck here for Moose Jaw. Nice crowd, as you can see, on date night in the ballpark. The 2-2 is outside the slider for ball 3, 3-2. Full count here on Michael Rego with Jimmy Kurtz on deck, 1 away. Smitherman looks in for the sign from the catcher, Graham, and delivers. Swung on by Kurtz. Foul tip is caught by the catcher, and Michael Rego strikes out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. And that will bring to the plate Jimmy Kurtz, the left fielder. And the fastball from Smitherman is inside at the knees, ball one. Jimmy Kurtz tonight is struck out and walked. From Buena, New Jersey, hello to the Kurtz family watching on FloCollege and in the house here tonight at the Ross. This one fouled straight back by Jimmy. 1-1. Neil Cole is shagging those foul balls. What a whoop we got last night as he made his WCBL debut. The local kid, Neil Cole, wears number 43 in that 18-3 Millers win. Off-speed pitch outside for ball two. 2-1 here on Jimmy Kurtz. You do love those blowouts for a lot of reasons, especially when you're on the winning side and you can get some of your young players in. That was the case last night. Smitherman changes the sign. Here's the 2-1. Swung on by Kurtz and a swing and a miss. 2-2. 2 on, 2 out. And a 2-2 count here on Jimmy Kurtz. This one swung on deep left field, and making the catch over his left shoulder is the left fielder Fisher to end the inning. And the Millers leave 2 men on. We'll go to the 6th with Moose Jaw up 3-2 over the visiting Fort McMurray Giants, and due up for them Aracho, Hecker, and Graham. This is WCBL Baseball on FloCollege.
The live sports experience is changing. Teams and facilities are under pressure to provide online and in-venue entertainment. IKS Live has the right team to deliver. We provide service across North America and produce the best fan experience, in the seats or streaming to you. IKS Live continues to bring you the best seat in the house.
For over a century, we've been more than just lawyers. We're your neighbors, your friends, and your strongest advocates. With locations across the prairies, we're everywhere you are. Stringham, your local lawyers.
For more than 25 years, we've been there, helping Canadians find the extra space they need to grow and to create new memories. Access Storage. Try 4 weeks free. Details at accessstorage.ca.
Co-op 50-50 approaching $1,700. See Devon in the stand. Leading off for Fort McMurray, number 8, Marcus.
Pitching change for the Moose Jaw Miller Express coming on in the 6th is number 29, the man they call JQ. Jacob Keelays for Moose Jaw. Out of Wallkill, New York. Big, hard-throwing righty. First pitch swinging from Marcus Aracho is fouled back and off the press box here at Roswell's Park. 0-1. You got to watch for those. The locals know it. It comes back hot off the top of the press box into the crowd. And now ball one on Marcus Aracho, 1-1. Aracho is 0 for 2 at the plate tonight. He is struck out and flied out to the first baseman. Side armor from Keelays is outside for ball 2, 2-1. JQ on the mound in a relief role. Aiden Johnson leaves with a 3-2 lead. That side armor is in for strike 2, called 2-2. Aiden Johnson officially worked 5 complete, allowed 2 runs on 5 hits, and struck out 5. And Quiles fans Marcus Aracho here to open up the 6th inning. So, as always, the traditional how-do to the Wallkill New York clan. The Quiles up late watching it on FloCollege baseball. Jacob told me at the team event we had last week, they're always watching Rod. And he's come in hot out of the bullpen, the CNS Builders bullpen here. Jacob Quiles. 1-1 the count here on the batter, Joey Hecker, the right fielder. Caleb Graham is on deck for the Giants. Check swing. He went 1-2 on Joey Hecker. Quiles has pitched 22 2/3 innings. He's been busy this year. 4.76 ERA. And strike 3 call, and down goes Joey Hecker. Back-to-back strikeouts for Jacob Quiles since coming into the game. I'd go so far as to say Quiles could have earned an all-star nod as well. No argument. 6-0 is his record, Jenna. Caleb Graham at the plate here for the Fort McMurray Giants in this 3-2 Millers lead. He's 0 for 2 tonight, grounding out to the shortstop and flying out to short. 1-1 the count here on Caleb Graham. Swing and a miss, make it 1-2. Caleb Graham from Calgary, 5'10", 170, throws right, bats right, out of Vancouver Island University. 1-2 the count on him. And a strikeout. Quiles fans, the first 3 batters he faces. And we'll go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Wallachek, Soto, and Edwards due up for the Millers, who lead it 3-2 here on FloCollege. Bottom of the 6th in Canada's most notorious city, Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan. Ben Wallachek, the birthday boy, will lead it off for the Moose Jaw Millers, who have a 3-2 lead here. Ben stole home back in the 4th inning to tie this game. And then Chris Franks was sent home thanks to an Eduardo Sainz single in the 5th to give the Millers a 3-2 lead. And that's where we stand now. Wallachek, Soto, and Edwards due up. The changeup is in for strike 1 called. 0-1 here on Ben. And the fastball caught the outside edge, and Wallachek's very quickly down in the count. 0-2 here against the reliever Gabe Smitherman, who came on in the 5th inning. for Fort McMurray. Wallachuk gets a bat on this, in the air to right field, and there to make the catch is the right fielder, Joey Hecker, for one away. Ben Wallachuk flies out to right field to open the Millers' 6th. And we go to the top of the order. Thomas Soto comes to the plate here for Moose Jaw. The WCBL stolen base leader. Tonight he has walked a couple of times and flied out to left field. Facing Gabe Smitherman here in the 6th with one out. Here's a chopper down toward first. That's fielded by the first baseman, Brett Patillo. And 2 away, Thomas Soto grounds out to the first baseman.
William Edwards.
William Edwards comes to the plate here for the Millers with now 2 out and none on in the 6th inning. This hot stretch has landed the Millers all the way up to number 2 in the power rankings for Fortis, Alberta. It came out on Monday. The Okotoks Dogs, number 1 overall in the league, are first. Moose Jaw, second. Fastball from Smitherman, caught the outside edge for strike 1 called, 1-1. Two and 1 the count on Edwards. This one outside, make it 3-1. With Chris Franks on deck here. A hush in the ballpark with the Millers leading 3-2 after their club record 9th win in a row. 3-1 on Edwards out of Sioux Falls. And he draws the 2-out walk here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Will Edwards is away to first base.
Number 4, Chris Frank.
Chris Franks comes to the plate here for Moose Jaw, up 3-2. He is the club's RBI leader, 6th in the league with 39 entering the night. 2 better than teammate Will Edwards. 1 on and 2 out for Moose Jaw here as Franks comes to the plate for a 4th time. First pitch is outside for ball 1-1-0. Chris Franks today is grounded out to the pitcher, singled and doubled and scored a run. This one swung on in the gap, left center field, back to the wall and off of it. Will Edwards being held up at third. It's a stand-up double for SaskTel SecureTech for Chris Franks. And all of a sudden, Will Edwards is around to third as Eduardo Saenz comes to the plate here for Moose Jaw. A double for SaskTel SecureTech. Don't let anybody steal home on you. Visit SaskTel SecureTech for the best home security options. Well, that's livened them up here. 2 out, runners at second and third for the Millers with Eduardo Saenz coming to the plate. From Laredo, Texas, plays at Texas A&M International. Smitherman comes set. And the first pitch is a fastball in for strike 1, 0-1 on Eduardo. Eddie tonight has a pair of singles and lined out to third. The 0-1 is swung on and fouled off the backstop. 0-2 on Saenz. Garen Plummer is on deck here for Moose Jaw. Gabe Smitherman on the mound here for Fort McMurray, wears number 4 from Chehalis, Washington. And he plays at Eastern Oregon University. Here's the 0-2 and signs. Fastball is outside for a ball. 1-2, and the Giants dugout doesn't like that call, nor the fans they've brought with them. 1-2 the count here on Eduardo Sainz. 2-0-2 on, bottom of the 6th. Key moment here. This one swung on and fouled back and out of play. Got the kids scrambling in for it right in front of the Miller Express concession, which has been humming tonight. Best concession in the WCBL, everybody says. 1-2 the count on Eduardo Sainz as Smitherman looks in for the sign. And the fastball is outside for ball 2, 2-2. Here is a roller. Third baseman Young up with it, threw it away. And that's going to score 2. Will Edwards and Chris Frank score, and Eduardo Sainz is safe at first with a single. And that provides a little breathing room for the Millers as they go up 5-2 here. And Eduardo Sainz sends 2 home. And with 2 out, he's at first with Garen Plummer coming to the plate here. First pitch fouled off by Plummer. 0-1. It goes into the scorebook as a single for Eduardo Sainz, and the run scored on the error on the throw. This pitch inside for ball 1, 1-1 here on Garen Plummer. First year Miller, what a season he's had out of Wichita, Kansas. Second in the club and batting average at .385. He's appeared in 27 of the Millers games, Garen Plummer. He's got better and better as the season's gone on. Off-speed pitch is in for a ball 2-1. Millers Baseball brought to you by EMJ Marketing, Roto's Pizza, Culligan Water, Tim Hortons, and Sask Pork. Fastball from Smitherman in for strike 2, called 2-2. 5-2 Millers now here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Here's the 2-2 on Plummer. Swung on, shallow center field. That's going to drop in there. Looked like maybe, thrown out at third, however, is Eduardo Sainz. And that will end the inning. Garen Plummer safe with a double, but Eduardo Sainz thrown out at third, and that will end the inning, and we'll go to the 7th with the Millers up 5-2, and you're watching it all here on FloCollege.
Hey baseball fans, make sure to stay up to date with your favorite teams across the league by subscribing to the WCBL YouTube channel right now. We have tons of free coverage for you over there, including daily highlights, full archive game broadcasts, daily game day previews, plus the WCBL report with myself and Joe McFarland every Wednesday. It's all in one spot, the WCBL YouTube channel. Subscribe today.
ready for the sweetest baseball event in Canada. All the very best players from around the WCBL will be in the very best city for the 2026 All-Star Weekend. Don't be sour. Get your tickets to the summer's biggest baseball event now. Hey now, you're an all-star. Get your game on. Go play.
I hate that camera.
Is that what it was? Okay.
Yeah, it's because of the back camera. You're good whenever.
Fun night in the ballpark, 5-2. The Millers lead as we go to the top of the 7th inning. Jacob Keelays is on the mound for the Millers. He fanned the first 3 batters he saw in the 6th. And Josh Fisher will lead it off, their number 9 hitter, the left fielder here, in the 7th for the Giants. Josh Fisher, Carson Young, and Jason Avila due up for the visiting Giants. The first pitch from Keelays is fouled off down the right field line and into the Giants bullpen. Not playable, although the reliever caught it in there. 0-1 the count as Keelays comes with a heater. Strike 2 called, 0-2. Keelays has come into the game here tonight on fire. This one outside for ball 1-1-2. Jacobs pitched 22 2/3 innings coming in tonight, as I mentioned, a 4.76 ERA. And a sterling 6-0 record, and this outside for ball 2, 2-2. Keelays 6'4", 205 out of Mitchell College. Here is a chopper toward short. Thomas Soto on that. And the throw was a little low, but Eduardo Saenz was able to field it for 1 away. Josh Fisher grounds out to the shortstop to open the 7th. And Keelays has retired the first 4 batters he's faced here. Suns coming into the game in the 6th. Then we go to the top of the order. Third baseman Carson Young comes to the plate here for the Fort McMurray Giants, hoping to avoid their 31st loss of the season against 9 wins and trying to snap this Millers win streak, cut it off at 8 if they can, but Moose Jaw's got the lead 5-2 here. This delivery from Keelays is in for strike 1, and 1 is the count, and Jacob is in the zone here. JQ outside for ball 2, 2-1. Fastball outside for a ball 3-1. Right down the middle, piped by Keelays. 3-2, full count here on the number 1 hitter, third baseman Carson Young. Jason Avila is on deck. 1 out, none on here in the 7th. Miller's up 5-2. Keelays kicks and delivers. Swung on high in the air to center. Chris Franks on the run after it. Wallachek waving everybody off, and he'll make the catch. In shallow right center field does Wallachek for 2 away. Quite a birthday for Ben Wallachek, wouldn't you say? Scored the tying run earlier, stealing home in the 4th, making plays out in the field. And now with 2 out and none on, the center fielder Jason Avila will come to the plate here for the Fort Mac Giants. The first pitch from Keelays is outside for a ball, 1-0. (6-6) Lethbridge and Saskatoon tied in the bottom of the 5th inning. 6-6 Bowls and Berries. Ball 2 on Avila, 2-0. A Miller win tonight and a Barry's loss would temporarily give Moose Jaw sole possession at first, for a night at least. And a 2-out walk is issued to Jason Avila here in the top of the 7th inning, and that'll bring to the plate Brett Patillo, the first baseman. He is 0 for 3 at the plate tonight, the All-Star from Magnolia, Texas. Flied out to left, grounded out to short, and struck out. Just looking at the Berries and Miller's schedules, they will meet just one more time on the final night of the regular season, Wednesday, August 5th. Wouldn't that be a trick if the pennant came down to that game? It will be in Saskatoon, by the way. First pitch in on Patillo is a strike one called, 0-1. Sidearm delivery is fouled back and, not playable. It landed right on top of the net, right adjacent to the visitors' dugout. 0-2 the count here on the first baseman, Brett Patillo. Tonight, game 2 of a 4-game homestand. Energy City Cactus Rats in here Thursday, Friday for games 3 and 4 of this 4-game homestand. Then the All-Star break, Saturday, Sunday. And then the Millers go into Medicine Hat for 1 on Monday. And then back home here next Thursday, Friday for a pair against Swift Current and Medicine Hat. The 0-2 plunked Patillo right off the back. And they've now got 2 men aboard as Brett Patillo is a hit batsman. And the tying run comes to the plate here. The designated hitter, Braden Dyke. By the way, if you're coming to a Millers game, be sure to grab a magnetic schedule at the Minute Muffler and Break ticket window. It's brought to you by Busted Truck Service, 2-for-1 Family Pizza, Heartland Financial, Ottawa Real Estate, Prairie Spring Water, CJ Trailers, Winmar Property Restoration Specialist, and KCS Marketing. First pitch from Keelays is outside for ball 1, 1-0. 2 out, 2 on in the 7th, and it's a 5-2 Millers lead. Swing and a miss, 1-1. A lot stickier of a game than last night's 18-3 rout in the Millers' favor. Swing and a miss. Tipped foul by Dyke. Braden Dyke, the DH. 1-2 is the count. Kita Fujino is on deck for Fort McMurray. Tying run at the plate here. Runner goes, swing and a miss, and down he goes. And that'll retire the side. And the Giants will leave 2 on, and we'll go to the bottom of the 7th. Phillips, Rago, and Kurtz due up for the Millers. They lead at 5-2. We'll be right back here on FloCollege.
check home. It's tied the game.
To the left. Take it back now,
As the
y'all.
Giants were caught
One hop
mid-mid.
this time. One hop this time. Right foot, two stomp. Left foot, two stomp.
Bottom of the seventh at Roswell's Park in Moose Jaw as this one rolls on. Pacey Phillips, the right fielder, comes to the plate here in a 5-2 Millers lead. Facing Gabe Smitherman, the reliever who came on in the fifth inning. Pacey Phillips, Michael Rago, and Jimmy Kurtz. The batting order for the black and yellow, who again are after a club record 9th consecutive win here tonight. And they're in good shape to do it, but lots of ball left here tonight. Off-speed delivery from Smitherman is in for a ball, 1-1. One and two the count here on Pacey Phillips. Pacey tonight has reached first on an error, struck out, and walked. The 1-2 swung on by Pacey, but that got past the catcher, and he's away to first base. And that'll be an error charged to the Giants as Pacey Phillips is to first on the air. Rookie night. Michael Rago comes to the plate here.
Michael Rago.
Michael Rago to the plate here for Moose Jaw with none out and a runner at first. Facing Gabe Smitherman on the mound here for the Fort McMurray Giants. 5-2 Millers lead in the bottom of the seventh inning. Fastball swung on and fouled down the third base line by Michael Muscles Rago. The mustachioed Michael Rago. He's appeared in 29 of the Millers' 38 games coming into tonight. This fastball is fouled back off the backstop. 0-2 the count on the third baseman. Jimmy Kurtz is on deck for Moose Jaw, followed by Ben Wolochek. Ball one on Rago. Fastball outside for a ball two. 2-2 on Michael Rago. Pacey Phillips at first, none out here in the bottom of the seventh inning. Giants and Millers closing out a two-game midweek set here. Millers looking for the sweep. Smitherman delivers. Off-speed pitch, fouled off by Rago. Stays alive at 2-2. And this one fouled off again by Rago. 3 consecutive foul balls. Standing in there at 2-2. Action in the Giants bullpen, by the way, as they trail 5-2 here in the seventh inning. Millers baseball brought to you by Bugsy's Irish Pub and the Town and Country Mall. And Rosie's on River. Runner goes. Throw down to second, and safe with the slide is Pacey Phillips. Full count on Rego. Fastball outside, and he draws the walk. Battled back from 0-2 in the count, and Michael Rego draws the none-out walk here in the bottom of the 7th inning. And the Millers now have runners at first and second, but we've got a mound visit, and we'll step back a moment. 5-2 Millers in the 7th on FloCollege. All right, back to the action here at Roswells Park in Moose Jaw. Pitching change for Fort McMurray. Sam Pyland has come into the game with the Giants trailing at 5-2 here in the 7th. And none out. Runners at first and second for Moose Jaw. Sam Pyland from Frisco, Texas. Plays collegiately at Kansas Wesleyan University. Jimmy Kurtz to the plate here. None out. Runners at first and second as the Millers look to add to their lead. Sam Pyland looking to shut him down. Righty reliever looks in for the sign and delivers inside and low at the knees for ball 1 on Jimmy Kurtz. Gabe Smitherman unofficially went 1 2/3 innings. Allowed 2 runs on 3 hits, struck out 1 and walked 2 before making way here for Sam Pyland in the 7th. This one belted down the right field line but fouled. Into the corner. 1-1 the count on Jimmy Kurtz. Tonight he struck out, walked, and flied out to left field. The left fielder from Buena, New Jersey. Shows a bunt, but it's outside for ball 2. 2-1 on Jimmy. Ben Wallachek is on deck. Shows the bunt again, but this is low and inside for ball 3 from the reliever Pyland. Sam Pyland has started 1 game of the season as a 10.93 ERA. He's pitched 14 innings total on the year. This one is off the outside edge of the plate. Jimmy's like, are you sure? 3-2 the count on the left fielder. Runners go. Throw down to second. Nobody's home. And that's going to score a run. Pacey Phillips comes home. And Jimmy Kurtz is away to first with a walk. A none-out walk, a defensive breakdown for the Fort McMurray Giants has led to a 6-2 Millers lead as Pacey Phillips scores. And Ben Wallachek comes to the plate here, the second-year Miller out of Wichita, Kansas. Can you see all those kids lined up down the fence beside the Millers dugout? Everybody's having a great time here in the ballpark, except for the Fort McMurray Giants, I would suggest. And the first pitch in from Pineland is a called strike one, 0-1 as Ben showed a bunt. It was a called strike as Ben has a dialogue with the home plate umpire, Derek Shatta. 0-1 the count on the second baseman. Pineland's side armor, swing and a miss from Wallachek. 0-2. Here comes the 0-2 from Pineland. A roller to short, fielded by Aracho. And the throw from second, not in time. And safe at home is Michael Rago. So Jimmy Kurtz is thrown out at second. Ben Wallachek is safe at first and a fielder's choice. And we have an argument here with the skipper of the Fort McMurray Giants, Dylan Cooper, and Connor Joslin, the second base umpire. But you ever seen an umpire change his mind? I'm not sure what the argument was, but Millers go up 7-2 with now one out and one on, and we go to the top of the order. Thomas Soto comes to the plate. Wallachek heads down to second, and he's thrown out as he came off the bag. Not much of a argument Ben can have, I don't think. He slid right past the bag. Has a little extra word for the umpire on his way off the field. That's 2 away. Not much of a birthday present there, eh, Jenna? Still been a pretty good birthday for Benjamin. Thomas Soto at the plate here. Takes strike one called, 1-1 on Soto, with now 2 away here in the bottom of the 7th inning. 7-2 the Millers lead. 1-1 the count on the shortstop, Thomas Soto. This one is low and inside for ball 2. 5th at bat for Soto tonight. He has walked twice. Flied out to the left fielder and grounded out to the first baseman. This one fouled back and out of play over towards Peacock High School. 2-2 the count on Soto. Sam Pineland on the mound here for the Giants, the third pitcher they've used tonight from Frisco, Texas. The 2-2. Swung on by Soto, and a swing and a miss. Down he goes. That will end the inning, and we'll go to the 8th with the Millers up 7-2 now, and you're watching it all on FloCollege Baseball.
For over a century, we've been more than just lawyers. We're your neighbors, your friends, and your strongest advocates. With locations across the prairies, wherever you are. Stringham, your local lawyers.
For more than 25 years, we've been there, helping Canadians find the extra space they need to grow and to create new memories. Access Storage. Try 4 weeks free. Details at accessstorage.ca.
Top of the 8th we go here at Roswell's Park in Moose Jaw. Historic Roswell's Park in Moose Jaw. Kita Fujino is the leadoff hitter for the Fort McMurray Giants, the second baseman. The numbers 5, 6, and 7 hitters are due up for them. Fujino, Aracho, and Hecker. Facing Jacob Keelays on the mound here in the 8th. And the first pitch from Keelays is in for strike one, called 0-1. Four strikeouts for Keelays since coming into the game. This one fouled off by the second baseman, 0-2. Fujino today has doubled, walked, grounded out to short, and scored a run. Out of Yoshio Sayatama. Ball one on Fujino. 5'7", 185 from Otero College. He's got some power, I'll tell you that. This one fouled off and out of play. Over onto Caribou Street. 1-2 the count on the second baseman. Marcus Aracho is on deck for the Giants, who will be into Swift Current Thursday night as this East Division road trip continues for them. This one swung on toward left field. Jimmy Kurt steps up and will make the catch for one away. The leadoff hitter, Fujino, flies out to the left fielder. One out. And Marcus Aracho, the shortstop, comes to the plate here for Fort Mac. Hey, it's way up there in northern Alberta, but is a fun place to go. Was there for CFL preseason play back in the day with the Rough Riders. We played the Edmonton Eskimos at Shell Field. That was a lot of fun. In June of, I'm going to say, 2016, 10 years ago, and some of our players said it was the hottest they've ever been in Fort McMurray, Alberta, playing 2015. Yeah, 2016 it was. One and one the count here on Aracho, and he tips this foul 1-2. Beautiful ballpark and football field facilities up there in Fort McMurray, Alberta. We really enjoyed that trip. 1-2 the count here. Keelays looks in for the sign. And this one tipped foul. Aracho stays alive, 1-2. Joey Hecker is on deck. Seven now, Lethbridge and Saskatoon in the Berry Patch in the 7th. 7-7 the score there. Keelays kicks and delivers. This one hit in the air to center field. Shallow, and Thomas Soto comes under it to make the catch for 2 away. Marcus Aracho flies out to the shortstop. 2 out, and the right fielder, Joey Hecker, comes to the plate here for Fort McMurray in the top of the 8th inning. Keelays has been lights out since coming into the game. And the first pitch is ripped into right field, a roller for a base hit for Joey Hecker. A 2-out single here in the top of the 8th. And that'll bring to the plate Caleb Graham, the catcher for Fort McMurray, who trails the Millers now 7-2 in the 8th inning. Called first strike here on Graham, the catcher out of Calgary from Vancouver Island University. The 0-1 from Keeley swung on, and 0-2 the count. Caleb Graham is 0 for 3 at the plate today, including a strikeout against Keeley's back in the 6th inning to end the Giants' 6th. Here's the 0-2. No, it's not. Throw over. But back safely is Hecker. Strike 3 call. Home plate umpire Derek Shadow rings him up. Caleb Graham goes down looking, and we'll go to the bottom of the 8th with the Millers up 7-2. Edwards, Franks, and Signs due up for Moose Jaw here on FloCollege Baseball.
This July, the Okotoks Dogs and Baseball Canada will host the Road to Okotoks and the Morneau Cup National Championship at the Seaman Stadium Complex from July 14th to 19th. Come watch the top 16 youth baseball teams from across the country. These are the future stars of Canadian baseball, tomorrow's collegiate standouts and professional players, all chasing a national championship. Don't miss a week of elite competition, unforgettable moments, and the future of Canadian baseball in Okotoks.
Bottom of the 8th inning here at Roswell's Park in Moose Jaw. Millers a 7-2 lead and trying to protect it, maybe add to it here with Will Edwards coming to the plate to lead it off for Moose Jaw in their half of the 8th inning. Chris Franks and Eduardo Signs due up for the Millers after a club record 9th consecutive victory here tonight. Sam Pyland is on the mound for Fort McMurray in a relief role, the third pitcher they've used tonight. His first pitch is in for ball 1-0. 1-1 the count here already on Will Edwards. One of 5 Miller All-Stars. Be excited to follow their exploits in Saskatoon next weekend. 2-1 the count here on Will Edwards. $60 ticket packages for the whole weekend for adults, $40 for kids. Last I checked or saw, it is not yet sold out. Swing and a miss from Will, tip foul, 2-2. This one is low and inside for ball 3. Full count here on the leadoff hitter, Will Edwards. Tonight he's singled twice, walked, and grounded out to the shortstop. He's also scored a run. Gets his bat on this one in foul territory down the first base line, caught by Patillo, the first baseman, for one away. Will Edwards flies out to the first baseman. Chris Franks comes to the plate now. the very popular first-year Miller out of Wooster, Ohio, and Ashland University. What a first season for him in Moose Jaw, named an all-star. First pitch swinging, a roller, foul down the first baseline. 0-1 the count here on Chris Franks, the Millers' RBI leader. Today he's grounded out to the pitcher, singled, and scored a pair of doubles. This sidearm delivery from Pyland is low and in the dirt as Franks waves at the mosquitoes. They tell me they're pretty bad down there. Jenna, you heard that? We're pretty lucky up here. High for ball 2 on Franks, 2-1. Here's a liner to short, and that is caught by Marcus Aracho for 2 away. Chris Franks lines out to the shortstop. 2 out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. And Eduardo Saenz comes to the plate here for the Millers. Well, if you needed any more reason to love Weston Walls, then I'm planning to see him Thursday or Friday starting. It's true he did have an opportunity to go play pro ball here this summer, but turned it down. I spoke to him about it this morning. Said he signed with the Millers for the season, came here to win this whole thing. And he's certainly been doing his job, leading the league in strikeouts and innings pitched. Always looking forward to seeing him play. This one hit Saenz, and he's away to first base.
Number 18, Garen Plummer.
So now with 2 out and a runner at first, Garen Plummer comes to the plate here for the Moose Jaw Millers. Smiling ear to ear as Garen Plummer. He's that kind of guy out of Wichita, Kansas, plays at Fairleigh Dixon University. Throw over and no threat of Eduardo Saenz taken off. Not on that occasion anyways. 1 on, 2 out for the Millers in their half of the 8th inning. Pyland delivers the fastball, ripped down toward third. Young up with that. The throw to first is on time, and that will end the inning. Garen Plummer grounds out to the third baseman, and will go to the 9th with the Millers up 7-2. Due up for the Fort McMurray Giants, Josh Fisher, Carson Young, and Jason Avila. You're watching WCBL action on FloCollege. Nathan Peugeot comes on in the 9th for the Millers, looking for his 7th save, with Moose Jaw leading 7-2 over the Fort McMurray Giants. The number 9 hitter, left fielder Josh Fisher, will lead it off here for the Fort McMurray Giants. Jacob Keelays couldn't have been much better. He pitched 3 complete, no runs, 1 hit unofficially, struck out 5, and walked 1. Making way for Peugeot here, the hard-throwing righty and Moose Jaw product. His first pitch is a fastball outside for ball 1. From Bethany Lutheran College in Minnesota. One and one the count here on Josh Fisher, the left fielder. Today he has singled, walked, and grounded out to short. Fouls this one off, 1-2. Miller is 3 outs away from a club record 9th consecutive win. Off-speed pitch is in the dirt. Had a check swing, too. They say he didn't go. 2-2. This is game 39. That means the Millers will have 16 games left to try and hit, if they want to set a club record for wins, which is 38. We established that earlier. They came into the game 26-11. So they'll need 11 wins to tie it, 12 to break it, with 16 games to go. Here's the payoff pitch. Low for ball 4. And Josh Fisher is aboard with a leadoff walk here in the 9th. Top of the order we go. Carson Young, the third baseman, comes to the plate here for Fort McMurray. Nobody going anywhere in the ballpark here. Slider in for strike 1, called 0-1. Peugeot checks the runner at first. And the delivery, swing and a miss from Young, 0-2. Throw over, and Josh Fisher is back in time. This one swung on, popped up in shallow right field, well, right at second base, and Ben Wolochuk stuttered initially and then makes the catch for 1 away. Carson Young flies out to the second baseman. And the Millers are 2 outs away. Pinch hitter for Fort McMurray, 26. Colson Bennett comes into the game. Pinch hitting for the center fielder, Jason Avila. Slider is in for strike 1, called 0-1. Nathan's got that working here tonight. One and 1 the count on Colson Bennett. He was in the lineup last night for the Giants, but not tonight, till now. Out of Camden, Delaware. The 1-1 swung on. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Here's a roller to short. Soto to Wallachek at second. The throw down to first, not in time. Colson Bennett is safe with the fielder's choice. Thrown out the lead runner, Josh Fisher. So 2 away in the 9th. And Brett Patillo, the first baseman out of Magnolia, Texas, comes to the plate here for Fort McMurray, who are down to their last out. Patillo was hit by a pitch in his last at bat by Jacob Keelays. Throw over to first. And back safely is Bennett. This pitch is in the dirt. Away to second goes Colson Bennett. 1-0 the count. Pichot changes the sign. Checks the runner at second. Comes set. Here's the delivery. Fouled back and out of play. 1-1. This one eludes Garen Plummer. And away to third goes Colson Bennett. 2-1 the count here on Brett Patillo. Braden Dyke is on deck for the Giants, who are down 7-2 and 2 out here in the 9th inning. Plummer comes out for a word with Nathan Pichot.
Play for 54 Dental.
Two and one the count here on Brett Patillo as Pichot kicks and delivers. Swing and a miss. 2-2. Crowd getting loud here at Ross Wells. The 2-2 swung on and fouled back and out of play. The 2-2, off-speed delivery, strike 3 called. Patillo goes down looking. Pichot earns his 7th save, and the Moose Jaw Miller Express have now won a club record 9 in a row, and temporarily alone in first in the WCBL Eastern Division at 27-11. They sweep the Giants in this 2-game set. Your final tonight from Ross Wells Park in Moose Jaw, the Miller Express 7 and the Giants 2. We'll do it again tomorrow with the Energy City Cactus Rats in town with a 7:05 first pitch. For Jenna Moore, this is Rod Peterson saying good night, everybody, from Ross Wells Park in Moose Jaw.